Hello, and welcome to RIME Entertainment Showcase with your hosts, Rita and Mel.
Hi and welcome to RIME Entertainment Showcase. So we're on episode 4 now. So in case you didn't realise and you haven't tuned in before, my name is Mel.
And my name is Rita, and we've got a great show lined up for you today, haven't we, Mel?
We definitely have. So, as part of the regular corners that we do have, we have Coach Rita's Corner. We've also got our special guest of the month for August, which is Carol Hanson. So Carol Hanson is a style consultant and a style coach, and she's definitely inspired me. I had an event recently. It's already been over a year now. Yeah. How is time going? Like, how are we already in 2019 and August? 4 months.
Soon will be Christmas.
So anyway.
And my birthday.
Anyway, we won't. It's not 2020 yet. Let's just still deal with 2019. There was an event celebrating women in business, and she was one of the speakers. She really inspired me in terms of, putting some colour into your wardrobe. And then I realised, hang on a sec, we're recording this and we're both wearing black. What's wrong with us? Anyway, so that's to come. You're going to learn a lot from her. She's got an amazing journey. Her own company, Want Her Outfit, has got so much information on how to create your style out of the minimal wardrobe that you might have. So it doesn't mean that you have to spend loads. You can even do it on the budget or the limited wardrobe that you have, because believe me, you probably got some more style than what you think.
True. And Coach Rita's Corner is basically talking about feeling good on the inside as well as feeling good on the outside, and how you feel on the inside really does affect what's going on the outside. So it's going to be a great insight with my corner, as well as listening to Carol on basically covering the inside and the outside and being your whole confident, wonderful self.
Absolutely. So this is basically what this month's about. It's about you, male or female, about confidence. It's about fashion, style, you being the style that you want to be as well, and also a little bit of tips and motivation from Coach Rita's Corner. I don't know why she points to me. It's Coach Rita's Corner, not my corner. But hey, anyway.
They understand.
Whatever. Anyway, so we hope you enjoy this month's show and look forward to more in September.
Hi and welcome to Coach Rita's Corner. Today we're talking about feeling good on the inside, something that is so important and that many of us overlook. We feel that if we dress the right way and we put on the right makeup, that we will appear confident. And yeah, style is important. The way you dress is important. The way you present yourself to the world is important, as obviously you'll learn a bit more about style from our show this month. But if you're not feeling good on the inside, if you're not feeling confident on the inside, no matter what you wear, it will have an impact. So, if you're someone who struggles with confidence or is a little bit shy, I want to give you a few pointers to help you and encourage you about tapping into that feel-good factor. It's important to love yourself. It's important to tap into what you like about yourself, what it is about you that makes you smile. Now, often when I say this to clients, they struggle. they're like, I'm not too sure, maybe I need to ask my friend about it. But we all have an idea of our good points. We all have an idea of those things about us that we love, because at the end of the day, they make up our personality. And you ask yourself, is there a part of your personality that you don't want to change? I bet there is. And that's something that you love about yourself. So I want you to tap into that. I want you to tap into that place inside of you that makes you smile about you. It's not about anyone else. It's not about how anyone else makes you feel. It's about those good points that you can pull out about you that is all from you. So it's got nothing to do with anyone else, because there are good points in everyone, and it's just about finding them. It's just about connecting to them and tapping into that, so that you start to feel confident and you start to actually enjoy being who you are. Now, I'm speaking from experience. I used to be extremely shy. I used to lack a lot of confidence and suffer from anxiety. And I used to also, though, dress very differently, because I loved being unique. I loved being different to everyone else. And I did this exercise with myself years ago, and it was like, you know what? I like that about me. I like this about me. I love the way that I don't want to just follow the norm, that I just want to be myself. And I love the way I joke. And there's so many. And then I started to really go into it and actually pull out so much more about myself. And then I realized, hold on a minute. I do really love a lot of qualities about myself. So why am I afraid to show it? So utilizing that along with meditation helped me overcome a lot of my insecurities to be who I am today, and actually just be, you know what, this is who I am, and I love the way that I am, and I feel confident in who I am. Therefore, that energy comes across, and what I wear is not really an issue, because I feel confident in anything I wear, whether I decide to dress up or whether I decide to have no makeup with my hair up and just lounge. Whatever it is, it's about that confidence within. So tap into those qualities that you do like about yourself. And there are qualities, even if it takes you longer than anticipated, of trying to think, what are these qualities that I do love about myself? They are there. This is quality time to spend on this exercise, to really tap into that, because you are what you wear. You are the brand, and you need to be that person. You need to shine your light. You need to feel good on the inside. And if you're not tapping into that, if you're not feeling good on the inside, then whatever you do externally will help, will help you, some people say when they put makeup on, they actually feel a lot better. And it's true, it does help. But if you haven't tapped in to that feel good connection, if you haven't tapped into owning who you are, eventually that feeling will fade away. And when you take that makeup off, you'll sink back into yourself. But we want you to not sink back into yourself. We want you to shine whether you dress up or whether you don't. It doesn't matter. It's about you being you and feeling good on the inside, so that you shine no matter what you wear, what time of day. So try and do that exercise. Pull out those good points about you and enjoy that. Just spend some time, if you can, spend some time closing your eyes in meditation and just focusing on you and the qualities you do love about yourself, because I bet you There are a lot of things that you don't want to change about your personality and that you actually love about yourself. So I hope this exercise will help you. I'm sure that it will. And remember, you are worth spending this time to connect within and feel good. Feeling good on the inside changes not only your confidence and your style, but it also attracts exciting things into your life, and it helps you manifest even more great things. So give this exercise a go, and remember, feeling good on the inside is the most important ingredient to feeling good on the outside. This is Coach Rita.
Welcome back everyone to RIME Entertainment Showcase. As promised, we mentioned that we were going to be talking to a style coach. So today we've got Carol Hanson of Want Her Outfit. We're going to be covering a lot today. So first, before we begin, I'd like to welcome Carol to the show. Welcome to RIME Entertainment Showcase.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. I'm really excited to be here and looking forward to talking to you this afternoon, and hope that what I've got to say will be interesting to the people watching.
I'm pretty sure it will be. Definitely. If it's interesting to us, it will be interesting to everyone else, I'm pretty sure.
So your mission in life, Carol, is to help women feel and look confident.
Yeah.
What inspired you to make this your mission?
Well, to be honest, the business came from a less successful business in 2013 with no experience in e-commerce, marketing or fashion. I went out and bought an existing online boutique. How hard could it be? Well, very, as I found out. And excuse me, it was about the time when it was starting to become much harder to get ranked on Google, and you had to really understand social media to build a business, an online business up. So I ended up doing a lot of offline marketing as well, and attending networking events, but also putting on fashion shows, fashion events. And I was attracting women who wanted to talk to me, not about buying clothes, but about the fact that they couldn't ever find anything that worked for them. And or they just didn't like themselves in clothes, and so on and so forth. There was a common denominator that came through it all. And that common denominator was that they lacked confidence in themselves, and they lacked a level of knowledge as well about what suited them. And a lot of it was women, the main women that I work with are over 40, so they've gone through lifestyle changes and body shape changes, which meant that they weren't, they struggled to know what suited them. Mm-hmm. That's what inspired me really to train in styling. And the original plan was to train in styling and then to take my clients through the styling process, and then to be able to recommend clothes that I got in stock for them. Unfortunately, that plan didn't quite work because the women I was attracting for styling weren't right for the clothes that I'd got in stock. So that business basically went by the wayside. But it was an expensive mistake, but it got me to where I am now. So it's part of a journey, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And you probably find that with a lot of businesses where you just it's trial and error, isn't it? And then you end up learning from it and you build yourself up. It's great. Yeah. Good stuff. Okay, so on reading from your website wantheroutfit.com, at the time when we got to know each other, I wasn't aware of this, but I know you suffered from anorexia nervosa for over 20 years. Are you able to go into how you overcame it? What was that journey like, and how did you get to that point where you're confident self to be able to cross over that barrier?
It was a long and difficult journey. Most people who suffer from the average journey that someone has with anorexia is about 12 years. Mine was 20, and a lot of that was because I'm extremely stubborn, and I insisted on not seeking medical help. At the time when I was diagnosed, there wasn't an awful lot of help other than hospitalisation and basically force feeding. It was more about the physical side of it than it was about the mental side of it, because anorexia, like any eating disorder, is not really about the food. It's a mental health disorder. And the food is just a mechanism, if you like, for the problem. So yeah, it was a long and hard journey, and like many anorexics, I got thoroughly addicted to exercise, to the point of obsessive about exercise, and it was really my body breaking down physically, that what started with a pain in my hip ended up with my hamstring being totally seized up, that I actually literally couldn't walk. That kind of, I'd had a few moments of, this can't go on like this, but that was a really defining moment for me. And even then I sought help from health professionals who encouraged active recovery as opposed to anyone who was going to tell me to stop exercising. And so again, I think I lengthened the process in that recovery period. But I guess one of the big turning points for me was that in beginning 2008, I got myself a personal trainer, and he helped me to see exercise in a very different way. I'd been all about cardio, all about fat burning, calories, and the knowledge back then was very much more about, you know, calories and cardio and so on and so forth. But that taught me to see exercise a different way. And although I was already starting to come to terms with the eating side of it, that was kind of the final link in the chain. But the other side of it was that I have still got a fantastic husband that I have had for over 38 years, and he stood by me even though, you know, we went through a hell of a lot in our marriage, and it nearly cost us our marriage. It may or may not, it's never been proven, cost us the ability to have children. And you know, it cost me a lot in terms of my relationships, my social life, and the way that my career didn't progress because I had zero self-confidence and zero self-esteem. So yeah, it had a huge impact on my life.
Yeah. How did you build up? Was there a turning point for you that sort of triggered, or was it just something that happened over time?
I think it was a very gradual process, and I felt for a number of years that like many people with a problem with addiction, which is effectively what it was, I was in recovery, but I now don't believe I'm in recovery. I believe I am recovered. So that's a very different mindset. You know, I felt for a number of years there were things that could trigger me, that could send me back, spiraling back down again, like my father's death in 2006. Kind of that was a you know, very traumatic for me, and that sent me into a spiral of not eating again. Things like, you know, major emotional things like that, or trauma like that. But I feel that is the case at all now.
So with your business now, do you feel that was a great way to kind of move into that, because it kind of gave you that bit more momentum to really stay on top of it, to really kind of take control of what you want and how you want it to feel?
That's an interesting question. I don't know if I've ever actually considered it from that angle. I think the angle I've considered it from was I've always been someone who wants to give back and to help others. And it was, in a sense, it was triggered by the fact that I then felt, by the time I started styling in 2015, I felt that I wasn't going to slip back into that if people started talking to me about eating disorders, I could handle it. And the sense that, or if people started talking to me and telling me that they felt too fat, I could then handle it. Whereas before I'd been, oh, well, maybe that's me, maybe I'm too fat. And, you know, I wouldn't have been in a position of being able to stand back and not have an emotional attachment to it. So I guess it was, timing's everything, isn't it? And that really, I guess, is a huge part of it. I certainly couldn't have gone into styling when I was suffering from anorexia at all.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, great. I mean, style is about confidence.
Yeah.
Can you tell us why this is so important to women? You know, a lot of people don't associate style with confidence, But why is that important?
Well, confidence is important because we feel empowered when we're confident. We feel happy when we're confident. We're superheroes when we're confident, aren't we? Yeah. Put on the Batwoman cape and go flying around the world. And we feel good about ourselves inside and out, and therefore we attract the same type of people. We're able to help a lot more people. Women love to help people. We're nurturing, caring people. You can't do that from a position of not being confident. And if you feel good about the way that you look and the way that you're dressed, and it's a reflection of who you are, that is super powerful, really is. And so confidence is a big part of it. And not feeling confident about ourselves affects every aspect of our lives. In a sense, it can affect our relationships. Again, it can affect our abilities at work, our abilities to put ourselves forward for promotion if we're in a corporate role, or to further our business if we're self-employed. It affects our relationships with the children as well if we're not confident. And so it is a really powerful tool to be able to be confident. And the fact that 97% of women suffer from body confidence issues, and all right, some of those may be very minor and some of them will be at very extreme level, but you know, that's a hell of a figure.
Absolutely.
If I can do anything to influence that figure in a positive way, then that's success on my terms.
Amazing.
So yeah, and so you know yourselves, if you put on something and it doesn't quite feel right, or you're self-conscious about it, absolutely, you can't be who you are. Whereas if you're wearing an outfit that really reflects who you are, how different we feel sometimes when we put on a pair of heels, for heaven's sake.
So, just walk differently.
Yeah.
Posture's different, and it just feels good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think so. Rita, for some reason, she had a dream about me wearing red, and now she can't stop seeing me in red. And I'm not wearing red today, but it's weird because for the last few months, red has been my thing, and now I'm just attracted to that color, and I just feel so great when I wear it. So yeah, even if it's red lipstick or
It is true, and it does. I mean, there've been an awful lot of psychological studies done on this about how our clothing can impact our mood, the way that we act, the way that others respond to us as well. So it's a hugely fascinating subject, and one I could go on about for hours.
We'll need to catch up with coffee on that one, I think. Definitely. Okay, so following on from that, there is a lot of women who tend to give up easily on themselves and taking time out for themselves, be it, if it is exercising or even just time to stop and just meditate or just, have them some, me time, What would you say to women that are in that sort of situation where they're just not having time for themselves? What sort of advice would you give about that?
Well, my first thing would be don't do it. And because if we neglect self-care, then we cannot serve from an empty vessel. There is a reason why in the airline's briefing that they say put on your oxygen mask before attempting to help others, because if you've got no reserves, then you can't help others. So therefore, if you neglect yourself, there's nothing left to give. And women are prone to doing it because we're carers, we're nurturers, the family comes first, other people come first, all of the demands of life come first, and we put ourselves at the bottom of the pile. But it's not right to do that at all, because we can't be any good to anybody if we've got no energy, we're feeling heated, and I know how easy it is to just get out of bed and pull on a pair of jogging bottoms and a top and just get on with the day. But how much better do you feel if you actually get dressed up a bit, put some makeup on, even if you're going to be at home during the day, and
just
how
push yourself up.
you feel in comparison?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I work from home a lot of the times with clients online, and sometimes I'll just pull on something nice, makeup, and it just makes me feel a whole lot better and more productive in my day than just not wearing you know, just as you said,
roaming
tracksuit
around in your
bottoms and-
pajamas.
yeah, or my
or,
pajamas.
Yeah.
All too easy to do that, isn't it? And kind of think you're being productive, when in fact it's not. And it's almost a bit like, well, if you go out, when you go out to work, you always make an effort. When you're in an office or whatever. So why not do that when you're working from home to an extent? Because you're going to feel better about it. You're going to feel as though you're in a role. There was a test that was done some years ago. I can't remember which university, but basically a group of students were given a cognitive test. But before the test, a group of them were given a white lab coat to wear and were told it was a doctor's coat. They performed better in the test than those not wearing the coat, because they assume that role of the doctor, that professional. Doctors are professional, they're intelligent, we respect their knowledge and so on. They did better in the test. And there are an awful lot of studies that have been done very similar to that prove that our clothes do make a big difference, and the way that we present ourselves makes a big difference.
Definitely, absolutely, great. Yeah, I love that.
So
yeah,
anyway,
sorry.
giving up a bit to maybe try on a different outfit, maybe just even add a necklace or some earrings or something like that. See how different you feel.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, I've got like a set of pearl earrings that I would put on, and all of a sudden I just feel a little bit more, I don't know, more classier and a little bit more,
Dainty.
you know, yeah, I think dainty is the word. But like, yeah, you do go through that. Or if I am wearing a pair of hoops, then I feel I'm in a different mood. But I mean, it's all a good mood, but it's just a different style that you feel. Yeah, perfect.
So, I mean, mentioning accessories, what a lot of us tend to put that to one side. It's like, okay, I've got the right outfit, and they'll put like, I'm not someone who wears jewelry or anything. How important is accessories to an outfit, or is it important?
Michael Kors famously said that accessories are the exclamation point of a woman's outfit. And it's true, they are.
And then I realise I'm not wearing any accessories today.
Accessories are important because they can help correct the wrong colors if you're wearing the wrong colors. So for example, black isn't in my color palette, but I wear an awful lot of black, but I also wear accessories. So you'll see me with black with silver jewelry or something like that, which will offset the black. They finish an outfit off. It means you need less clothes, and that you can make more outfits from less clothes. You can use accessories to make you look taller, by having a scarf just hanging down round your neck will actually make you look taller, because it's creating vertical lines in your clothing. And when you create vertical lines, that will help you look taller. You can use jewelry to offset or help with your body shape as well, again to make you look taller if you've got a longer pendant on, maybe to make your shoulders look wider if you're looking to emphasize that with a chunkier necklace, to take away from a short neck as well. So it can really help. And if you're wearing stuff around your face as well, that people are going to look into your eyes and be more engaged with you.
Oh, food for thought. That's great. I love
Yeah.
that.
It's time to buy a red scarf, I think. Now.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a red scarf now. Oh, great! I love that. Oh, it's got me thinking now. What more? I've got loads of accessories,
But you don't use
but
them.
I just don't use them.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of women are gonna get so much from just this part of the interview as well. I mean, there's plenty to get from this. Brilliant, thank you. Okay, so I know currently your biggest passion is about fashion and the environment. So we live in a society where we are gradually becoming more aware of the planet, but we're also being encouraged to spend more on clothes. What's your opinion of this? Like, tell us about what your points of view are on this.
Well, fast fashion cannot continue. Fast fashion is killing the planet. It's as simple as that. In the last 20 years, the amount of clothes that we bought and the amount of clothes that we throw out, and we don't necessarily send them to landfill directly ourselves. There are an awful lot of clothes that do end up in landfill, but indirectly clothes end up in landfill. And again, they don't break down in landfill. But let's go right back to the fact that when we're manufacturing, we're treating resources as infinite resources that are finite resources: water, soil, stuff like this. When we manufacture cotton, it uses an incredible amount of water, and the way if it's not organic cotton, then an awful lot of pesticides, and that then has a damage on the soil. It also has an impact on the farmer's health as well. The average cotton farmer on a non-organic farm only lives to about 40 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's the whole manufacturing side of it that you bring in. There's the toxic chemicals that are used and then discharged into the water supply with dyes and stuff like that. There's the impact on labour, because to make fast fashion, we're not paying fair wages to people. You may or may not recall the Rana Plaza disaster back in 2013, where the garment factory collapsed in a matter of seconds, killing 1,100, nearly 1,200 people, and injuring about another 3,500, I think it was. That was because they were factories that were not safe. And although a lot has been done to improve those conditions, don't let's think that that problem has been totally solved. It hasn't. You still, and the majority of women, of people in the garment industry are women. Garment workers are women. 80% of them are women, and they're not. A majority of them are not being paid proper wages. They're working overtime, but it's better paid work than they can get doing other things, and therefore they still carry on doing it. And then you've got to talk about all the kind of the fast delivery turnarounds, which then means using up more carbon in terms of deliveries. And then there's the fact that we've just got too many clothes, we just don't even wear them. And then you've got manufacturers' overstocks, the scandals that have been in place, that have been revealed about Burberry burning stocks because it didn't want to decrease the value of its stock. There have been other fast fashion manufacturers such as H&M have been held up having been burning stocks because they just manufactured too much. It's just crazy. We can't continue like this. We have to change our attitudes towards clothing. We have to be prepared to pay more, look after our clothes more, buy better quality, look after them and keep them for longer.
Yeah.
Second hand. You know, I love rifling in second-hand boutiques and designer stores, pre-loved boutiques, where you can find stuff that's unique. And when you know what colours and styles suit you, then you don't get overwhelmed by the fact that you've got, you know, all different things in there. And just be more sensible with your clothes. Learn to repair your clothes. So many of us have, you know, don't get taught. Kids don't get taught sewing at school anymore.
And it's really, do you know, that's something I'm really passionate about. And, you know, if anything does rip or whatever, I'm someone that would just get the sew, you know, just sew it. It's not difficult to learn the art of sewing.
Yeah.
No, and if you can't do it, then fair enough, because there's an awful lot of independent seamstresses out there. Is look for independent seamstresses in your area. I'm very lucky that in our town that we've got an amazing one, and she actually does tailoring for people like Ted Baker and Karen Millen as well. Send her stuff to get altered. She's incredible, and she's very reasonable. And when you think about, well, okay, I'll get that mended or altered or whatever, that's so much cheaper than going and getting a new outfit, and you're giving business to local people. What's not to love about that?
Yeah, and that's what it's about. It's about ethical buying as well. You know, you don't always have to just go to the best superstore just because everyone says it is. Look to your local businesses, because you will find that they've got a lot more to offer.
Absolutely. Local businesses, and also look for more sustainable fashion as well. There's an awful lot starting to come out now that is sustainable, but don't necessarily believe all you read in terms of the bigger brands claiming with their claims about sustainability. There's an awful lot of greenwashing going on out there now. But yes, I am passionate about it, as you might have gathered by the way that with my voice. But I'm actually rebranding this year, so that I am rebranding as a conscious wardrobe stylist. Want Her Outfit Will Go, and I'm going to be trading under my own name, and so I'm going to be doing an awful lot more myself about sustainability too. And there are some good brand directories out there and stuff like that. So you can really, we've got to look more rather than just thinking, okay, I'll go and buy a t-shirt for £5 or go and buy 2 t-shirts for a 10 or whatever. It just, we've got to stop doing that.
Yeah, and I think the transition that you will make as well, I think there's a lot of women that will need that, because, you know, obviously just talking about it right now, it's like, well, okay, where do I begin? You know, how do I do this? And then obviously having someone like yourself who can guide them and support them and say, okay, this is the best way, let's do this together, I think is going to be a tremendous asset
absolutely.
for a lot of women out there. So that's great.
Thank you.
So we spoke a little bit earlier about some style tips, you know, with the long scarf. Is there like anything else that you can share with us and our audience of just any little tips that they could take on board for themselves?
Okay, well, the most important thing to do is getting your colours right. And while the sort of the conclusive way of doing it is go and see a colour analysis, there are some tips that you can do at home as well that you can try out yourself to see if you can determine whether you're what's called a warm or a cool palette. Now that basically means if you are the warm or cool palette comes from the undertone of your skin, not the presenting colour on your skin, but the undertone. And the undertone is made up, believe it or not, of carotene, melatonin and hemoglobin. So it's a genetic composition and it doesn't change. So you get a tan, it doesn't change. The only thing that will happen is you will lose a little bit of pigmentation when you get older. That's just a natural part of the aging process. And what you want to do with that pigment, that undertone, if you like, is reflect it, not fight it. You know, sometimes you put on a colour and you go, oh, I look tired, or I look overwhelmed, or the colour stands out far more than you do. So you know, while I can't go through a full colour analysis, as I say, there are certain tips that you can try. So not wearing makeup, and it's important that you don't wear makeup on this, and you do it in natural light facing a window with a mirror on the windowsill or whatever, is try the gold and silver test. So put something gold against yourself and something silver against yourself. The gold is a warm colour, the silver is a cool colour. What looks best? For me personally, silver is better. If I put gold on, I look brassy, and the gold tends to take over. So that's one good way of doing it. And try holding up something white and cream. White again is cool, cream is a warm colour. What kind of washes you out or looks better on you. And then finally is, and this is to look at the veins on the inside of your wrist. If you've got a cool colour palette, the veins appear more blue. If they look slightly more greenish, then that's a warm colour palette.
Yeah. See, yeah. Oh, that's so. Oh, I'm so like I don't know. There's so much there that I've got from you.
And another key bit is obviously your body shape, and what's kind of classed as the ideal body shape that so few people actually have, or women actually have, is the hourglass shape. So your hips are in proportion with your bust basically, and you've got a nipped in waist. So what we try and do is we emulate that. So if, for example, and the most common body shape in the West is called the pear body shape. So you're slimmer on top and you've got wider hips and thighs. So what you want to do is balance that out by drawing attention to your top half and playing attention away from your bottom half. So you could do that with wider lapels, collars, jewelry up here, even shoulder pads, that kind of thing. So that effect balances out your and similarly, if it's the other way round, so that you've got broader shoulders and narrow hips, which someone who's quite athletic might have, for example, you do it the other way round. So you put more width on the bottom. That could be just simply a pair of trousers that's got pockets on or something like that, that just gives a bit more bulk to the bottom half. So that's another good one. If you want to make it, and finally, if you want to make yourself look taller, then wear the same colour throughout. Because if you, or the same shade or shades of a colour, starting with lighter on the bottom and working down to darker on towards lighter on the top, darker on the bottom, because every time you see a change in color, when the eye looks at it, it creates a horizontal line, and a horizontal line has a shortening and widening effect. So if you have a top that's one color and then trousers or a skirt that's a different color, the body will see a horizontal line wherever that change of color is.
Wow. This is like mind blown, as they say.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna look at clothes and
Just
the
gonna
way
be
I
looking
dress.
for our wardrobe.
Yeah. Definitely on looking taller, because
Yeah,
that's
for both of
probably
us, yeah.
yeah, we're quite short.
Well,
Okay, that's brilliant.
the other thing, Melissa, is don't carry a big handbag, because
Yeah.
if you're a shorter person, you're carrying a big handbag, you actually look smaller.
Yeah, which I carry my big Nike backpack with me practically everywhere, and I feel like
Swamped
I'm
by it.
4 foot or something. Like I really do feel very short. So it's just, yeah, and I know I'm like stomping around, and I thought, no, this is not the way I want to look, and I'm pretty sure everyone thinks I'm a little girl that should be in school or something. Oh no, that's brilliant. I love this insight. It's been amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so I mean, you're a successful business owner. You know, I mean, again, you gave a really great talk at the event that I did last year already. It's already time to fly so much, yeah. But yeah, so what sort of advice would you give to women, or even just anyone who wants to start their own business? What's, you know, even the highs and lows of it?
I would say the first thing is really think it through in terms of what it is you want to do. You need to make sure you're passionate about whatever it is you want to do, because you're going to be living and breathing it. And if you're half-hearted about it, you're not going to make a success of it. So it needs to be something that you are passionate about. But equally, it's a business, so it needs to be something that you can make money out of too, because if you can't make money out of it, then it's a hobby. So I would always advise doing lots of homework to start with, and that homework may include doing some research, testing your ideas out among family and friends, seeing what they come up with, what they think about your ideas. I was talking to somebody last year, I think it was, who was wanted to start making her own natural home products, for home care products. And I said, that's great. But she said, I don't know where to start. So I suggested that she maybe found some recipe, sounds the wrong word, but you know what I mean. So she put stuff together and gave them out a sample. She was doing a local yoga. She was involved in a local yoga group. Give them out people in the yoga group and see how they get on with them and what they think of them and whether they'd actually buy them. But test stuff out to start with, and think about how much money you might need to get launched, and then double it, because we so often underestimate what we're going to need and when we're going to start making any money when we run a business as well. It can often take us much longer. And get as much information as you can to start with. Research competitors, because nobody's got a completely unique business idea anymore. But don't be afraid of competition either. Competition can be your friend, because if there's competition, that means people are buying it, and you know, you will always have your own unique angle on whatever it is you're doing, most definitely. And where you can, try and do some early networking, if you like, to try and again build up your contacts a bit, and also to just find out who else is out there who may be able to help you, because you're not going to be an expert on everything. And this is one thing that I hear time and time again from small business owners is I'm great at what I do, but it's all the other stuff I have to do as well, because as when we start off in business, we're doing it all ourselves. And we don't expect to be proficient in everything that we're doing at all, but we do need to understand some basics. But also, if you can afford to just use somebody else to help you a bit, then do that. And or anything else that you find so challenging you really can't get your head around, you probably need to let somebody else do that for you. And at the earliest opportunity, get yourself into with a business coach or mentor or something that's going to help you progress your business, because at whatever level you are within your business, it really helps to have someone else outside friends and family that you can use as a mentor and coach.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great
Definitely.
tips.
Yeah, perfect. Love it.
Okay, so what would be your final message to our viewers and listeners out there that you'd love to share with them today, Carol?
I think one of my biggest messages, stop comparing yourself to others. We all do it. And we all find ourselves wanting when we're doing it as well. And social media just fuels it as well. You know, we see people's snapshots on social media. We see them having a fantastic, what appears to us to be a fantastic life, because that just happens to be the minuscule bit that they've shared. And we feel inadequate as a result of it, whether it be our appearance, whether it be their fantastic social life, their holidays, their house, whatever, or the way that their businesses appear to go. Everyone treads a different path, and whatever you see that's online is only a snapshot of what someone wants you to see. And it's hard to do, to switch off, but I do think that really is my biggest piece of advice. And as I said, we all have a tendency to do it, but we have to stop back and think carefully about not doing it, and be realistic about the fact that everybody is on a different journey, on a different path.
Definitely being that authentic self. I think that's definitely key. Love it, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more, Carol. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being a guest for this month's RIME Entertainment Showcase episode. Again, you know, it's been a pleasure. I mean, we definitely obtained so much information, and I think we're probably just going to rethink everything on our wardrobe.
I think so.
We're going to look at our body shape.
Out comes the accessories.
Absolutely. But I'm pretty sure that our viewers have got so much from this, and when they see this show, you know, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be positively influenced. And again, the real message here is about being your true self, and you know, not being afraid to be yourself, and being that, like I said, being the authentic self that you are. And I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Carol.
Your clothes to express your authentic self too.
Absolutely, definitely. So viewers, definitely go to wantheroutfit.com. Carol Hanson is absolutely amazing, inspiring if you haven't already heard and seen this interview. But definitely, I couldn't recommend Carol any more than what I've done right now. So yeah, so use her, go to her for some style coaching. Absolutely. Thank you again, Carol.
You're welcome. Thanks very much for inviting me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Hi and welcome back. We really hope you enjoyed Coach Rita's Corner and you gained some really good tips on how to feel good on the inside so you can radiate that feeling good on the outside. And we are really hoping you really got something from Carol Hanson. I mean, you know, knowing her from over a year now, she's really kind of inspired me, like I mentioned before about my own wardrobe, but also just in general, like she's a real go-getter. There's so much in terms of health and fitness that she does generally, but you're going to get a lot from her, and I really do recommend that you start going on to wantheroutfit.com and start reading up on her blogs, reading up on her journey, and you know, if you want to book a style consultation, go ahead. I mean, that's where her service is. And again, like I mentioned, she's so inspiring, which is why we chose to interview her for this month, because again, if we didn't get anything from it, then we wouldn't really, you know, we wouldn't have made sure that you got something from it. And that's what we want to do. We want to share great experiences, share inspiration, and making sure that you stay motivated just as we are.
Yeah, so, you know, again, Carol is an inspiration, and her journey is an inspiration. She's a woman who has battled a lot in life and has come up trumps, and she's gone and she's living her dreams. She's doing what she loves and what she's passionate about, which is helping a lot of women out there and just helping you build that confidence and feeling good on the inside as well as looking good on the outside, which is always important. So I'm sure you gained a lot from that interview, just like we have.
Definitely. So what's to come? Well, we've got our show in September. There's going to be a variety of things we're going to look out for September, but we'll keep you posted on that. You know, just rounding off now, please don't forget to keep following us on Instagram. We're on @sisters_in_rhyme. That's RIME. First 2 letters of her name, first 2 letters of my name. You can't go wrong with that. We are Rhyme. So yeah, definitely, you know, or just start following our hashtag Sisters in Rhyme, or #Rhyme Showcase. I mean, look, September's going to be quite an interesting one. Like I mentioned, there's going to be a variety of things going on in the show.
But don't give the game away.
No, we're
Let's
not.
just keep them in suspense and see what happens. So that means that you'll have to tune in when it comes to September.
Okay, so it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me. And again, just keep following us and message us and let us know your thoughts or any inspirations you have that you want us to share. But also, if you are someone who has an inspirational life, who's going and living their dreams, get in touch if you want to be on the show.
Yeah, definitely. We welcome all walks of life, so just get in touch with us, because we want to know, we want to get to know you, and we think that we could, you know, just have fun on Rhyme Entertainment Showcase. So it's all good. So until September, I'm going to say goodbye. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Stay tuned for more Rhyme Entertainment Showcase.